Serbian tennis star, maybe you've heard of him, Novak Djokovic. He's now set to take part in the Tel Aviv Open. Begins on September 26th. It's a major deal for Israel. Comes as Djokovic was not permitted to play the U.S. Open and all the tournaments preceding that major based on his unvaccinated COVID status, which has been in sharp focus throughout this year's tournament calendar. But Tel Aviv has some tennis tour history. It was part of the men's tour calendar from 1978 to 81, again from 83 to 86. It's been a while, though. After not having an ATP event, though, since 1996, Tel Aviv is returning to that Association of Tennis Professionals scene, and the tournament organizers, they're preparing a big inaugural event. They've already confirmed now 2 Grand Slam champions this year. Now, to get more into it, we're joined by Ori Lewis, an international sports journalist. Ori, thanks for being with us here. Suddenly, this Tel Aviv tennis event looks pretty intriguing, pretty interesting. I imagine ticket prices are climbing as we speak.
Well, I imagine that there will be a huge demand for tickets because, Novak Djokovic is just, a global sports name. Everybody will want to go and see him. And it's going to be very exciting. This tournament really is shaping up to be something special.
Yeah, very cool. Is there a feeling that there's still more to come? I mean, now that Djokovic has come on, I believe, there's been some other names already coming onto this tournament. Do you think it'll lead to more? I mean, I don't know where it fits in the general schedule with the other main competitors, but do you think it'll keep growing, in other words, the list?
Well, he's top of the entry list at the moment as it stands. It's still not been officially confirmed. That will happen tomorrow.
Okay.
But he's top of the list, and the rest of the players are also pretty good. Names that tennis fans will all know for sure, like Diego Schwartzman, Marin Cilic, Botic van der Sande-Schulp, that's a difficult one to pronounce, from the Netherlands, and a few others. And Dominic Thiem, who was already announced. He was the early announcement, kind of to whet people's appetite as to what is to come. So it's going to be good. I don't think that we will see anybody higher than him, but
it's hard to find that.
He's currently sixth in the world rankings, but huge name, and it's going to be something that people will just really look forward to.
Certainly. How do you look at this? I mean, Djokovic's appearance, is it all about his inability to compete in other places? I mean, is there a direct correlation right now between his, vaccinated status and inability to go to the U.S., for example, and come in here?
I think that there is something to do with that. I mean, he might have chosen somewhere else, or maybe to take the week off. Yeah. But as he's not going to the U.S. Open, he wants to maintain his ranking. And this is a good place for him to pick up quite a few points that will keep him right up there. Number one in the world currently is sorry, the name escapes me for a second. Russian Daniil Medvedev.
Yes,
sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's been an odd year. I mean, Ori, to say the least, it's been an odd year. You mentioned, hard to remember, the top-rate Russian player. Well, he wasn't featured in the last Grand Slam. Wimbledon, he wasn't allowed to be there. I mean, there's been a lot of issues. Djokovic himself, in the remarkable year, his appearances and non-appearances here. I mean, coming off of winning Wimbledon, booted from other Grand Slams. It's been really an outstanding, an odd year for tennis, has it not?
Very unusual year indeed, yeah. And certainly with Nadal, unfortunately, pulling out in the semi-finals of Wimbledon, which kind of put a damper on that. I think fans might have wanted to see Nick Kyrgios here as well.
Yeah, he was getting a lot of cheers.
That would be an incredible thing, but maybe he's so unpredictable that maybe it's just as well that he isn't, and we'll get a proper tennis tournament. But it is going to be very exciting, and it'll be great. Second visit, by the way, for Djokovic here. He was first here playing as an 18-year-old in 2006 in the Davis Cup. Nobody knew who he was. He was already 70 in the world, but he blew the Israel Davis Cup team off the court. It was just one of the most memorable performances I think I've ever seen on an Israeli tennis court. He was fantastic. So it's going to be great.
Well, we'll stay tuned. Certainly, he's an animal on the court. He's a machine in his preparations, Novak Djokovic. So Israel, get an up-close look at him this next month. Ori Lewis, thanks for being with us to sort of give us the preview.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.